Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. Today we have a great opportunity to talk to Greg Johnson about the importance of having a living trust for your family. Julie Yip cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV đã tiếp tục theo dõi chương trình kiến thức y khoa, gia đình và xã hội. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Greg Johnson để tiếp tục nói thêm về living trust. Greg, just before the commercial break, we briefly talked about it. Now I want to know what that experience looks like. When a family is interested in doing a living trust, how do they contact you and what does the process look like?
9 times out of 10, a woman calls me. 9
Really?
times out of 10, the wife will call me or a single woman will call me. Very seldom the guys do, but most often a woman does. And she's very, easily to ask questions. What is it? When do I come in? What do I need? And so I have a little talk with her over the phone, and we talk about what the Living Trust is, answer any questions she might have. And I get to find out a little bit about what she wants in the family and so forth. And then we get to know each other a little bit. I tell her that the only document I really need is the grant deed so that I can deed the properties into her trust.
Okay.
And then we pick a time when she will come in with her husband or the family and the children or whoever. Usually it's just, it's a couple, sometimes it's a single person. And we'll sit down and we'll talk. And we'll talk for an hour and get to know each other, and then I will get to know their family. And I'll get to know their dynamics, and I'll get an understanding of what they have, where they want things to go, and be able to answer questions and then guide them through it. So we will talk, and then I get my information, they will get their questions answered, and then I will do my work, and then we will sit down at a second time and go over things and get things signed. Then I take care of everything. I will take care. I tell the people that I will take care of everything from the very beginning to the very end, and that I will make sure that the deeds get recorded. And in Orange County, I go down to the recorder's office and record them myself. So there's nothing that my people will have to do by themselves.
Oh wow!
Nothing, and that's very important.
So you mentioned that the main thing that you need is a grant deed, and then you take care of it from the beginning till the end?
Beginning to end.
So once they contact you, and how long would it take for the whole process to be completed?
Well, I had a woman come in yesterday with her mother, and she's going back to San Francisco this weekend, so I worked last night to finish all of their papers so that I could email them to her this morning so that she could look at them, and then we will get together on Thursday and get things signed, notarized, and then on Friday I will get the deed recorded, and then she will be able to go back to San Francisco knowing that her mother here in Orange County is completely taken care of.
So like we're talking about days or within a week's time?
Yeah, a couple of days.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
And so I have customers who will come into the office like her, but then she's going back to San Francisco, and I will do her living trust just by email.
Okay.
And so people, if they want to come into the office, that's fine. Most people do. But some people don't, or they can't. Talking on the phone works.
Okay.
Email works. I carry a separate cell phone, and my clients call me. Really, and they do. They call me. Oftentimes, anytime. And I tell them, I said, you can call me any time of any day for any reason. And that's okay, because communication is important. Communication is important.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to, sit down with our families and take an opportunity to learn about their family and their dynamic. I think when you take that time to do that, you definitely understand the need of the family, or the specific need, and maybe you can cater to that. So thank you again for sharing that opportunity. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Greg Johnson. Greg Johnson là một người luật sư chuyên về Living Trust. Greg nói đó là chừng nào quý vị muốn làm cái Living Trust cho con của mình á, thì nó tốt á, là chừng mình để cái will, con mình phải tốn tiền luật sư lúc mình mất. Chừng nào cái nhà mình 800.000 thì có thể tốn kém là 19.000 cho mình mướn người luật sư. Mà chừng nào mình không muốn tốn kém đó, mình sắp xếp trước khi, thì đó mình làm cái Living Trust. Lúc mà mình còn cái Living Trust, mình chỉ cần liên lạc Greg Johnson, and then Greg sẽ lấy cái hẹn cho quý vị tới văn phòng. Hay chừng nào quý vị thấy không có an toàn tới văn phòng thì quý vị gọi điện thoại hay làm email cũng được. Một lần nữa, số điện thoại liên lạc cho Greg Johnson là 714. I'm trying to get your phone number. 714-912-8500. Một lần nữa là 714-912-8500. Julie thấy đó là chừng nào quý vị làm được á, thì Greg nói đó là làm trong chỉ có khoảng mấy ngày thôi, với cái cao nhất là 1 tuần. Mà Greg nói đó là mình chỉ đem cái grant deed, ngồi thời gian nói chuyện với Greg, and then Greg sẽ làm hết cho quý vị luôn. Greg, you know, I just love the fact that you mentioned again that you really take the time, an hour's time, to meet the family, to kind of know their specific needs. Are there, what do you think you get most in talking to our families? Are there differences between the needs of family when you talk to them?
I take care of the typical family situation, and
Okay.
the typical family situation is pretty typical. It really is. I don't give legal advice.
Okay.
I don't give tax advice, and I don't give family planning, financial planning advice.
Okay.
My people already know what they know what they want.
Got it.
And if people have other needs, for example, some people that you work with, if they have needs for a child, for example, who is going to need a trust to take care of them for a long period of time.
Yeah, because the children with disabilities, they'll require a trust separately.
There are things called special needs trusts.
Yes.
And there are specialists that prepare those and then follow those through, because they really go for a long time.
Okay.
And they have a lot of requirements to them.
Okay.
So it's seldom that people with those requests come to me, but they do come. And when they come, I'm happy to refer them to people who are competent to take care of those things.
Thank you.
Yeah, always happy to do that.
You know, so if most of us in Orange County, we own one house, and you know we want to will it to our children, and what if you say, well, I don't want to will it to my child and want to give it to somebody else? Is that an option? Or what did you say when someone says, I don't have children? Because those are situations that comes up, right?
Well, first of all, you don't want to will it to anybody, because that puts you in probate court.
I'm sorry, living trust. I'm still using the wrong words, right?
and the word's important. No, but you don't want to will it to somebody, but you can do with it whatever you want. And so I have people who have children. I have people who do not have children.
Okay.
And they will give property to a brother or sister.
Okay.
I have people who will give property to a church. I have people who give properties to temples in Vietnam.
Oh, really?
And so what they want to do with their property, it's entirely up to them, and they can do with it whatever they want. And so I talk to them and find out what they want to do, and they usually know what they want to do.
Okay. So the majority, people already know where they're going to leave the property to, or to whom they're going to leave it to.
Yeah.
So you just help them make that, you know, actualize, and it goes on
I make
paper.
sure that what they want to do gets done.
Great.
Okay?
Great.
Or at least the structure is in place so that it can get done.
So it's really that simple?
It's straightforward. It really
Okay.
is. It's straightforward. It's straightforward. But if you drop the ball anywhere along the way, then it's not complete. So
Okay.
it has to be completed.
What if you change your mind? Have you ever had anybody come and change their mind on where
Sure.
it
Well,
goes?
you can amend a trust because it's a revocable trust. You can
Okay.
amend it or change it or completely revoke it. So if you buy another house, for example, then you have to amend it. It's not a big deal, but it's a deal.
Okay.
If you have a child and he grows up and he decides that he's going to run off to Las Vegas and go crazy, and you may want to cut him out, you can do that.
Okay, so there's an option to amend.
that happens.
Okay.
That does happen. One thing I want to mention, though, and that is there's a lot of people in the community seem to like to put their kids on the deeds instead of doing a will or a trust or something, but just put the children on the deeds as a joint tenant. There's a problem with that.
Oh.
And one of the problems with that is that if the child gets in a car accident and is underinsured, then the house that the parents live in can be used to satisfy a lawsuit that the child gets involved in, or if the child gets in debt. So I know it's very common, but it has a lot of risks to it. And really the much safer thing to do is to put things in a living trust. Let the child get it when the time comes.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you so much for giving our community this education and educating me, because I'm constantly using the wrong words, right? But hopefully by the end of this segment, I'll understand it better. But, you know, Greg, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
I definitely learned so much today, and I know that the viewer will benefit tremendously from what you do. And again, you know, I appreciate you for, you know, supporting our healthcare professionals and our educators, and providing that additional discount and support, especially during the pandemic. So, is there anything you want to say or address to the audience?
I want to thank you very much for having me here and giving me the opportunity to explain this. And I hope that I have an opportunity to help more people in the community, because this is a community that I really care very much about.
Well, thank you so much, Greg. You've already done it for a decade, and hopefully you continue for a 1 or 2 more decades, right? However long we go all here.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Julie, cảm ơn quý vị khán giả đã luôn luôn ủng hộ chương trình Kiến thức Y khoa Gia đình và Xã hội. Hôm nay Julie hân hạnh có thời gian nói chuyện với Greg Johnson. Greg Johnson là một luật sư, là cái người chủ của Little Saigon Living Trust. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với nhắc nhở quý vị cái quan trọng cho mình phải sắp xếp cái Living Trust cho con mình. Nhiều người Việt Nam của mình đó là để cái đi để tên con của mình vô, mà Greg nhắc nhở đó là cái đây đó là cái hơi nguy hiểm. Thì mình làm được thì chừng nào con mình nó lớn rồi thì mới cho nó thì nó cũng hay hơn. Thưa quý vị, cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức Y khoa Gia đình và Xã hội. Julie chúc quý vị rất nhiều sức khỏe và may mắn.